Alright gang, welcome back to Hansens Speed Shop. It's time for another video on the hot rod project. And today I think I'm going to tackle taking off the old carburetors and then starting to mock up the new setup with our new Super 97 carbs. So let's get right into it. Just in case you haven't been following along on this project, I've got a 2.2 setup on here. I believe these are Zenith carburetors. These are what was on the car when I got it. The car's been sitting for a number of years, and these carbs are missing some parts on them anyway. So I just wanted to put something on here that's going to perform better, function better, and look better. So we're going with a pair of Speedway Super 97s in chrome. And then we're also going to be redoing this fuel line, probably redoing the throttle linkage as well. And then I've got some new HJ chrome frogmouth scoops we're going to throw on. So I'm just going to start taking this setup off and then mocking up our new setup. Basically, I'll put the new carbs on and then start laying out how I want to do the new fuel line and everything. Alright guys, so sometimes when you tear stuff apart, there's always surprises. So I was absolutely not familiar with these types of carbs. It turns out that these are just one barrel carbs. So if we look at our intake here, it's just a single opening for a one barrel carb. So definitely the carbs I got are going to be a major performance upgrade, going with two barrels versus two one barrel carbs. The problem is that they aren't just going to bolt right onto this manifold. Luckily, they do make an adapter to go from a one barrel to a two barrel, and they're not super expensive. So I'm just going to take these off anyway. I'm going to order up some adapters, and then we can basically get back to mocking this up. So sometimes you don't really know what you have exactly till you take it apart. So not a super major setback, but a little bit of a setback because it's going to be a little bit more time now waiting for some adapters to come, but not a super big deal, I guess. All right, gang, so it has been a week since the last little segment of the video you saw where I got all the old carbs and everything tore off, and then I got to the point where I had to wait for my carb spacer, so I decided to start tearing the front apart to do the wheel stud swap. And I'm sorry about the lighting and the noise. It's raining outside, so I got the doors shut and the generators running in the background. But I got everything on this side, driver's side tore apart and cleaned up. Here is the rotor, got that all cleaned up, painted and everything nice, and got the new studs back in it. So this side's ready now to get put back together, and then I'll tackle the passenger side. It was pretty simple, just basic stuff. Just takes a little bit longer because I go through everything, clean it, and just make sure everything's really nice. I'll show you what we're doing with for our adapter. So if you remember, I talked about we had some one barrels, so we need to convert for a base for like a Stromberg or Holley 94. So I went to Offenhauser, one of the oldest and most respected speed equipment companies. And they made this adapter which should work out perfect. I measured out the bolt spacing for the bottom part, and that should work out really good. These are aluminum, so my idea is that I'm going to paint these the same color as the intake. So I put them on, it'll kind of look more like a high-rise intake versus like a spacer or something, because I just kind of want these to blend into the intake itself. So I got two of those from Offenhauser, and then my grill shell came in. I decided to go with just the one from Speedway. A lot of people said they're pretty good quality for the aftermarket ones, and it's going to get cut up like I talked about, and sectioned and everything. So hopefully that'll work out. Everyone said that they're pretty good, you know, steel quality and everything. And the price wasn't too bad, and it was available, so we went with the Speedway 32 grill shell. So basically I think I'll get the hubs put back together, and then once I start working back on our carbs, we'll take another look. All right, gang, so we got the wheels back on and all that taken care of. Everything looks really good, super nice now, really clean, and it should be a lot safer also. So I just got the new little adapters just sitting on here, just so you can kind of see how that's going to look. Again, I'm going to paint these so they match the intake, so it just looks like they're part of the intake. I'm just going to run to the store now. So today's Saturday. I'm going to run to the store, get some new studs and all the hardware basically I'm going to need for this. And then I think tomorrow we'll get this stuff painted. Maybe if I have a little time, we'll just do it today yet, but basically tomorrow, Sunday, we're gonna focus on getting this basically kind of mocked up and figure out what we're gonna need to do with our throttle and everything. So that's what's in store for tomorrow. And then I'm also planning on, I gotta do some work on my other car, so we're gonna jump back and forth, like while paint's drying on here and stuff. I'm gonna do some little projects on my other car. So we'll see you tomorrow, I guess. All right, guys, so I came back last night and I got some kind of prep work done, so we can really make some progress today. So I got our adapters painted, so they should be dry now. So that worked out. I got our gaskets ready. This one, we're gonna reuse the bottom gaskets because I don't know where I would get these, or I would have to try to remake these. So this one's already has 4 holes in it. This one only has 2 holes in it, so I'm gonna have to add an additional 2 holes, and I'll clean these up, and there's no rips or tears in them, so they should work fine. We got all of our hardware that I'm going to need. So we're gonna run studs on the top. So on this part we'll run studs, and then I've got some chrome nuts and lock washers. And then on the bottom part, I was going to run studs also. So these were the original studs. I've only got 4 of them, and nobody in town has this size stud. I would have had to have cut them down to at least this size. So I just decided we're just gonna run bolts in the bottom part. I think that'll kind of look a little bit better anyway. So I am going to stop babbling and get to work. I'm also going to have to touch up the paint on the manifold here, just along this edge, just to make that look a little bit nicer. And I'll get to work. All right, gang, so we basically got it pretty much all bolted up now, with the exception of our throttle and our fuel lines, but it looks really sweet. I hope you guys dig it. I had to go back and do quite a bit of modifying on these adapters. I had to do some clearancing to get the nuts, for space for the nuts, and then I had to make some custom studs and then repaint everything. So it just took some time, but otherwise everything else went back together really good. If by chance you guys were to need those adapters from Offenhauser, this is the part number. So you might have to do a little bit of modifying to them to fit your specific setup or whatever, but they will work out really good. So no complaints on that, and super happy with how this looks now. These scoops are chromed HJ scoops, and then I got the little bug screens in them. Chrome Super 97 carbs. Super cool. So next time I'm going to work on getting the fuel line set up, and then the throttle linkage that I have is still coming in the mail. And then we'll have to hook that all up and figure out how everything's gonna line up, or if this cable is gonna be too short or whatever. So we'll get that all sorted out next time. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with stopping here for today. So until next time, guys, get out, work on your own projects, get those hands dirty and greasy, stay cool, and we'll catch you cats on the next one. Thanks for watching.